announcement of some rallying activities for the supports and services for people that we care about.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be brief, but please listen. It's extremely important for all of us, for everyone in our community, not to be going back towards the days of Willowbrook again. There are 3 different types of postcards that are up here. We are going to pass them out to you. I will tell you very briefly what each one is for. It is already pre-addressed to be mailed to the governor. We had an event, Conversation for Change yesterday at IER, and everybody asked everyone to do this as well yesterday. Please, all you have to do is put your name and address. We will collect them. Michael is going to take them back, get them mailed. It's important to have strength, which is numbers. I'll briefly tell you what they are, and then we'll give them out to you. This is about the rally we are going to Albany on March 25th to explain how important it is to make sure that there is money to go forward for our preschools, our private day schools, our programs, our residences, etc. So this is for the rally, but again, all 3, you have to fill out 3 cards. And the rally is March 25th. We're going to the state capitol. The bus, I believe it says on here, is going to be meeting.
We don't have plans for a bus just yet.
Okay, sorry.
But there is a rally on March 25th.
Okay, so don't mention that. Okay, so we'll give this one out. Next one is entitled Our Kids Are Your Kids. And anyone who's familiar with the 4410 and 853 schools, they are the private schools such as Eton, and they are the preschools. Funding is almost non-existent, and especially increases in the governor's budget, and I'm sure there are other people who can speak more to that. So this is another postcard, Our Kids Are Your Kids. Everybody please sign and put your address on this one, and again, they will go to the governor. And last but not least, 3rd postcard, Be Fair to Direct Care. All of the direct care staff, in the day programs, in the residences, you hopefully know how critical the salary situation is that many people get paid, particularly in comparison to the work they do. I have a son who is very involved and is bathing and dressing and undressing and toothbrushing and feeding and entertaining and cleaning up messes for $15 an hour. So please, we're going to pass these out. Don't leave unless you give us back all of the 3 with your names and addresses, and we will get them mailed. And try to attend the rally. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. If we could all just be mindful of the cell phone. Can Iris get a couple people to help pass things out?
Oh, take your time. Okay.
And Shabazz from IAC to give a report. If he can have your attention, please. Richard, you're first.
Good morning. Always good to be back in Staten Island again. I'm Richard Bosch from the Interagency Council. We're a membership organization that has about 150 nonprofit agencies that serve people with developmental disabilities. First, I just have to thank all of you for all your lobbying efforts, advocacy efforts on this budget. This is fascinating. You've made these into postcards. Just when we think, things are looking good because the House budget, the Assembly budget, and the Senate budget have come out, they look really good. I'll go over the status of that. This time of year, everything's changing every day. So what I'd like to do is go over the OPWDD budget status, Department of Health, which covers the clinics and early intervention programs. And then I'll give you the governor's response to the One House bill. Then I'll go into education, which is probably the most critical area we're dealing with now. So we have proposals, and the Assembly gets together and creates what's called their One House budget, and the Senate does the same thing. And they just got released go over what they're supporting and what the our ask for. So the Senate is supporting the 2.9% human services COLA, which is good because we haven't had real COLA since 2010. And that covers the cost of everything. So if your rent's gone up, your heating, your insurance and all that, there's been no additional funding for that since 2010. So the Senate's supporting the 2.9% COLA starting January 1 of 2020. That way they're only putting up 1/4 of state dollars. And the Assembly is also supporting the 2.9% human services COLA. However, the 3.25 compared to direct care ask, remember we got 2 years' worth a couple years ago. I know we're asking for a third and fourth installment of that. The Senate stated they're committed to continuing the agreed upon 3.25%. What does that mean? I just asked our lobbyist when he shipped this speaker before. What do you mean by committed? Well, they like the idea, and if it gets funded, we'll support it, but they didn't propose any funding for it. So keep the pressure up on your senator. The Assembly has put in for a 2% fare instead of 3.25. They're saying 2%. I think what they're thinking is, well, combined with the 2.9%, you'll be okay. And you can't argue too much about it. Neither put in any funding for additional supportive housing. There's $15 million in the budget for Bldg to create affordable supportive housing. They didn't put in anything else in. And then we were all asking for an additional, of the $120 million for new services in the governor's budget, we were asking to set aside $20 million of that for families, for people who are still living with their families and have a critical need to have out-of-home services. There's no support for that. And that's pretty much it in the Bldg budget where it stands. Department of Health in the early intervention world, they're proposing $16 million into an insurance pool, which gets insurance companies out of it. Right now, the providers have to build the insurance company, try to track down where the payment is, get rejected, appeal, get rejected, appeal. This gets insurance out of it. They're going to pay a fee every year that goes into the covered lives insurance pool, and then the Department of Health will then support the EI programs with that. So both the Senate and the Assembly are supporting that. The Assembly is looking for a 5% increase across the board for all EI services. The governor proposed a 5% increase just for the therapies, the OT, the speech, the PT. The Assembly Health Chair, Dick Gottfried, he was at the Manhattan breakfast last week, and he announced there that he was proposing 5%. And the Senate is rejecting the governor's proposal to cut clinics by 20% from their rates. So that all sounded fairly good, be fair and 2.9% COLA. And then yesterday afternoon, the governor's the head of the Division of Budget put out this statement. I won't read the whole thing, but it gives you the kind of the flavor of what we're headed towards here. And this is the DOD Director of Visa. The Senate one-house budget is wholly incredible. The Senate's plan would increase spending by nearly $3.5 billion compared to the executive budget, while identifying no material spending cuts or new revenues. At least the Assembly plan, while raising spending, proposes new taxes to pay for the additions, which are not acceptable to us, and still billions out of balance. And they say some stuff about Long Island taxes. Then the continued creation of these false political expectations makes the reality of an on-time, responsible government budget virtually impossible. So you're not going to see a budget on April 1. And that's how I mean, the government is kind of hinting at that, saying it's impossible. You have Democrat control, Assembly Democrat control, Senate Democrat control, Executive Office, and they're not getting along. So we'll see where it goes. So that your advocacy has to continue full force. And that's how we got the original 3.25% be fair, was it was a relentless campaign by all parties involved, and that's going to continue the big rally on the 25th that you're well aware of. There's also a press conference that the Mental Hygiene Committee of the Assembly is holding on March 20th in Albany. That's to discuss the Be Fair, Ebola, and mental health housing. I didn't come armed with the information on that one, but I'm sure it's on our website, iacny.org. So, that's the battleground here. I wanted to save education for the second part of it, because it just, we're at a break point. I know we've said this in the past, and we have a lot of advocacy, a lot of support in the Assembly, a lot of support in the Senate. They have new leadership there. What we were asking for was a percent increase with the tuition that would be the same as the public sector is getting. And they are proposing, the Senate's proposing like a 4% increase, and the Assembly is proposing a 5% increase for preschools, 4% for school age. But the other big ask was right now there's $8 million every year in the budget to give teachers, they call it the retention and recruitment fund. And it gets distributed to the schools, the 4410 and 853 schools, according to some wacky formula that we just learned about. But it's been in the budget, but we were asking for another $15 million to just kind of give a little cash infusion to help with the teacher crisis. The average disparity in what the public school teachers get, what our teachers get, is $36,000 a year. And that's average statewide, so you know our region's probably a lot more than that, because the schools are more. And we're not saying, definitely not saying the public schools are getting paid too much. No teacher gets paid enough. But we're trying to get closer, and it's creating a crisis where we can't get the certified teachers in our schools. And our schools are starting to say, we're close to closing. And it's like no idle threat anymore. You can only hold up, cover the debt for so long. Besides that not being in the budget, I learned yesterday, Chris Treber's our education advocate. And he talks about the state ed, goes to all the different meetings. State ed is still not paid. Well, first of all, they haven't paid a cent of the minimum wage to the schools. For OPW, paid the $11, $13, and now $15, although the cash hasn't flowed yet. But state ed still doesn't have a formula or a method of getting its minimum wage dollars out the door. And they're required to do that. They still haven't released the 2015-16 tuition rates. You spend your money, you send reports up to state ed on the CFR report, and it takes them a while to reconcile that, and your rates come out. It used to take like a year. Okay, so far they haven't released 2015-16, 16-17, or 17-18. So they're 3 years behind in paying the schools for the tuition they should be getting. So I guess the one thing, we'll see a campaign urging people to go to their district offices, I guess on Fridays, because that's when legislators are in town, and really push this. All we were asking for was $15 million for teacher retention money, and out of a $126 billion state budget, you think we could squeeze out $15 million. And if anyone has any good ideas of how to get the governor to get a little nicer to our children, our most vulnerable children, he just doesn't want to see any increase. The other point you're well aware of, the regional needs. State ed puts out a regional need, kind of like RFP, advocate for how many children in New York City, preschool children, don't have a place to go, don't have a seat. And that totals right now for New York City, 548 seats are needed. And these are primarily for the children who are in classrooms of 6 and 8. So these are the most disabled kids. Imagine how long it would take to develop 548 seats, and the preschools can't afford to do it. If you're losing money now for every child you serve, how can you take on 548 more? And Staten Island, as you well know, you have 88 on the state ed list. So I'm not sure who's going to come to the rescue there. There was a meeting on Tuesday at State Ed, and also on Monday and Tuesday with the regions. And this is kind of a statement on the condition of New York State special education. I'm guessing it's mainly the public sector. And State Ed has been under the watch of the U.S. Department of Education. Their status now is it's called need of assistance. The New York State special education system is in need of assistance, and they have these 17 indicators that they measure in New York State. And at the Regents meeting, and by the way, Regent C is obviously our biggest supporter in Albany at the Regents office. Other regions are getting very supportive. But they handed out this chart, which has 17 indicators, and only 2 have a green check mark. The rest have red X's. I can pass this around, I'll leave some up here. But these are areas where they're not, State Ed not in compliance with the U.S. Department of Education. It has to do with, they got a green check on dropout rates. I guess that's been going down. Least restrictive environment for school age and for preschool, outcomes, parental involvement got a red, child funding got a red, which is super ironic when they're trying to put the early childhood direction centers out of business. They're like the main touch point. So I'll leave that up here, but the next stage of the federal, how they grade them, will be in need of intervention, which means the U.S. Education Department comes here and takes over New York State. The thing is, I don't believe these indicators are reflective of what's really going on in the school. This is typical, and I've been around for 25 years dealing with State Ed. And I don't like to badmouth people, but they're in an ivory tower and they like to come up with these measures and these metrics of what's good. I don't think they have a clue what's really going on in the school. I don't believe our public or our private preschools are in this kind of condition. But boy, Betsy DeVoe and Donald J. Trump love to see this and wagging in front of Governor Cuomo and say, you better not run for president because look how bad you're doing.
Just a comment on March 11th, the Times Union has a whole article including all those papers, if anyone's really interested in learning more and understanding it. And also, all the Regents meetings are, I don't know if it's televised, they're live, so you can sit and watch as it's going on. But now it's all archived. And I tell you, I don't really ever watch it, but I did this time, and I'm not going to say, but the Regents were not happy about that.
Right.
Not only that,
this was the first time the Regents had such a long agenda item on special ed. They rarely go there.
Very long time. The first 2 hours was supposed to be dedicated, the Regents was a lot of work. And the first 2 hours that day was dedicated to special education. They did a lot of business before, so I'd say around 40 minutes into what this started. So if you want to look, that's what...
Chris goes to all of them, and he said it was amazing. We finally got on the agenda, and they were shocked. The Regents said that they weren't really aware of state ed scorekeeping.
And it's been failing for 10 years, and they didn't.
Hopefully that'll help. The other thing, statistics and data are very important. And, Chris has been critical in digging up data. And all he uses data from state ed, or the Board of Ed, or school district. says the, wage disparity statewide is, $36,000. That's SED data. He didn't make it up. So we calculated, the number of teachers in New York City. This is just teachers, not the assistants and the other staff or other costs involved. But if our preschools and our school-age programs decide we can't lose money anymore and they go out of business, and the school districts and Board of Ed will be forced to open up preschool programs, school-age programs, the cost of just the teachers alone for the taxpayers would be $50 million extra a year if you bring up the teachers to what Board of Ed is getting paid. And that's a lot of money, and again, that's just the teacher cost, not the teacher assistant and others. So anyway, I just want to encourage you to keep up your advocacy and your voices. I know Assemblywoman Elliott Pockets has been talking to Chris, especially about the, you may have read in the paper about the, or on the radio, or on the way in. The UPK teachers, some of them programs have a union, and they're threatening a strike. And they want wage parity with the Board of Ed teachers. If they get anything, and I hope they do, but that would kill our schools, because then any teacher who's already in a UPK program, or some of our preschool programs have that, but there'll be a mass exodus. The only thing that's keeping our teachers in our schools now, they said Board of Ed right now doesn't have a lot of vacancies, so people aren't moving over. They're not calling our teachers on Sunday evening to say, would you like to make $36,000 or $40,000 more a year and get full benefits and great health plan, great pension plan. So I'll end with, I don't know if any of you went blogging, if you've seen this chart about the tale of two teachers, and I'll leave some here. If I get more color copies, I would. But what it's doing is comparing the teachers in the 4410 preschools to the public school. So they both teach at 4410 and 853 school, and they're both a certified special ed teacher with 5 years experience. Our teachers get an average of $51,000 a year. The Board of Ed teachers get $87,000 a year. Our schools work 12 months a year. The Board of Ed teachers work 10 months a year. Again, this is all on the average, so I know the Board of Ed summer programs. Our schools have to pay for their medical insurance and don't have a pension. But what our schools have had to do to keep some salary increases going in the bad teachers and track teachers, they've had to cut benefits. So some of them have no pension plan anymore or a health care plan, or the employees have to pay the full health care. Public teachers get lifetime medical insurance and a full pension, and our schools have an average fringe benefit worth 23% of the annual salary. Public school teachers' fringe benefit rate is 63.89%. Again, this is right off state ed's data. So keep fighting for us and really turn up the pressure. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go into committee reports. Lisa couldn't be here this morning. I have the treasurer's report. There's $12,701 in treasury. Richard gave the IEC report. Adult services.
Good morning, everyone. We're having our next meeting on March 26th at IBR at 10:30 in the morning, and we're working on having a guest speaker come. We're going to be talking about what we're doing the remainder of this year and our plans for starting in September, October of next year. So please join us.
Okay, I'm going to ask if the committee chairs could come up to the front and give the report so you could be on camera and we can film properly. It's only angled this way, so. It's all advocacy.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Holly Devane, co-chair of the Advocacy Committee with Donald Wall. First, I'd like to report on a community breakfast which was held on March 1st. Again, we had over 400 people. Chris Streeter from IAC was there and gave a very impassioned speech. Hopefully, if you can keep that home, please fill out the cards. And this is the week we printed them for you. Please, it's easier than write a letter when you get the email, but we'd like you to do that too. But the card is right here, so please sign it, your friends, your mother, anybody who are around there, the rally on March 25th. We have a bus, we booked it, the council is paying for it. The price went way up, so it's almost $2,000 for the bus. We haven't had that many people sign up yet. We'd like to go up there with a full bus, so please go back to your agencies and talk it up, and whoever can get on the bus on March 25th. I mean, it is a full day, because we're going to leave here promptly at 9 o'clock, and we'll be back hopefully by 5, because I think thing is at 1 o'clock, the rally. It's really for our DSPs. I mean, they affect our whole field. They have the hardest job, they get the least pay. And without our DSPs, we're never going to have residential development, because you're not going to be able to stay at the house. So it's important that we go to the rally. We don't, have that many, and it's paid for, it's free, so please come. But you have to call today. Please call the council office. There's some information on the back. Just call the council office and say that you're coming, because we don't want to spend $2,000 for an empty bus, so we have to cancel today if we're not. So please call if you're going to go. But then, even though we're facing very challenging times right now, and things seem to be going backwards, Staten Island Developmental Disabilities Council is celebrating 50 years of service. Bunch of activities that are going to focus on that. I think Angela printed them now, she gave me one. But a lot of things are going to be dedicated, we're going to focus on that, to just keep telling people, we're here 50 years, we're not going away. So at the annual Willowbrook Memorial Lecture is on April 30th. That's probably at the college. Disability Pride Parade, New York City, it's on July 14th. It's in Union City. It goes from Madison Square Park to Union Square Park. We want people to come to that. I went this year with my son, and then I constantly go to the movies and out to eat. It was great. There were groups from all over with their band. It's a great thing to bring our guys to. It's about them. But there were a ton of people, maybe Union Square Park. It was a good event. But it's on July 14th, so hopefully we'll do more about that to promote it. But hopefully people will go. And we'll have our band as their 50th anniversary. The transition fair will also, there's going to be a panel. Departments that we work with in the community. That'll be one of the panel presentations, and that usually takes place end of September, beginning of October. And then the Willowbrook Mile opening will also be the end of September, October. Will also highlight the 50th anniversary. But then, because this is actually a celebration that we're here 50 years, we're planning a brunch. We're going to have an anniversary brunch sometime in the very end of October, beginning of November. So hopefully, keep coming to the council, keep getting involved, and keep spreading the word, because we need everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Care management, Janet?
Hello. The next meeting was just finalized for April 4th. We are having representatives from Bldg come to really familiarize the new care managers with some of the processes. Elizabeth Connelly Center to talk about RSAs. I'm just finalizing with Catherine Kingston to come talk about the front door process. Hoping to get John Wynn, pass that along, please, to just clarify some information on failure reimbursement. And HRC will come and talk about technical start. So we're really just working on kind of training the care managers, and some of the systems have changed, and just getting everyone familiar with what's out there.
It's very important that the case managers come to this, because we are having a lot of issues, and Denise is really trying to help out the case managers. So if the agencies can make it a urgency for them to be there so they can understand this part of the process.
We tend to have a full room, it just tends to be the same people. So I spoke to the directors at the CCOs to try to get them to encourage some of the newer people to come, so I'm hoping.
And if it's good, she'll do another one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just need to make sure that they, he's the first one. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Iris has a question. Ms. Janet?
Janet, it's April 4th, what time?
10 to 12 here.
Thank you.
Thanks. Community outreach, Pam and Melissa?
everybody.
Good morning.
First and foremost, I'm so happy to introduce Marissa Correa, who is our new outreach coordinator at SIDDC. She used to be a member of our committee, and we're delighted to have her to hit the ground running, right? The executive board of SIDDC has asked our committee to create an ad to be placed in the Staten Island Parents magazine. There's a special deal going on. So we're going to finalize the ad today, and we will get into the April issue, starting with the April issue, which will be a special news issue as well. We've been reporting that the outreach committee is trying to develop a new SIDDC video that can be used as an information tool when Marissa or anybody goes out to speak on behalf of SIDDC. And I'm thrilled that I finally hooked up with two interns from the College of Staten Island who hopefully will get credit for class, but they're going to work with us to put that video together. And the gentleman I spoke to yesterday was incredibly knowledgeable. He's done videos for NICED and the Boy Scouts and stuff. So they said we need short and sweet, but really informative. So one of his first suggestions was that we really need to get some family members that would be willing to get on camera and give testimony. So if anybody knows any family members who have that personality to stand in front of the camera for 25 seconds, reach out to Marissa or Angela so we can start collecting their names. That would be really helpful. Our membership numbers for March, I'm happy to say each month they creep up a little bit more. We have 39 agencies, 9 veterans, 82 voting members, 25 non-voting members, for a total of 155. And just lastly, we also want to say what a great breakfast it was that we attended a couple weeks ago. But one of the things that Melissa and I were questioning was, look at this room. There's over 400 people here. And why do we only have 150 voting, non-voting? And so we want to have all our agencies, please, when they have the opportunity to encourage their family members to talk about the value of being a member of SIDDC. If you have friends or families, we really need to work those numbers up. It's amazing that all the Staten Island so that's our goal, to really boost those numbers. Okay? Thank you.
Early Childhood Action Group, Jackie. Come on. You come up?
Come up with all of my bags.
Well, there's been a lot of advocacy going on since the beginning of March, especially since the legislative breakfast community breakfast, excuse me, sorry, I didn't say. That, can't teach all those tricks. The community breakfast really did make a major focus on the early childhood issues that are, so dire at this point. Chris Trieber from IAC gave an excellent keynote speech on all of the issues. Barbara's position paper was excellent in outlining all of the issues that we need to focus on, with lots of statistics and all of the things that are really hit you in the face, when you read it. So the campaign has begun and, it's been going on. Our children are your children, and please keep up, the fight. All the information is made available by the council and by the advocacy committee to, do this campaign. You need to call, tweet, put on Facebook, do whatever, any of the, any ways you feel about the issues with early childhood. And just to, fight the fight, and please go to the rally if you can. And if you need any more information, As I said, you can get it through the council very easily.
Thank you, Jackie. Education, Mary Ellen.
Hi, the Education Committee met on March 5th, and we talked about continuing our goals of discussing inclusion programs and about having our, we're talking about a spring forum, but we also want to talk to Jeannie and Irene about the fall and kind of piggybacking on the 50th anniversary celebration and seeing if we can do something as well with that. We also talked about the principals. We have been in touch with parent coordinators, and they're aware of the council, they're aware of what we're doing, they're aware of the issues that face co-located schools especially, and now we're moving to try to get in touch with the principals as well. We've always felt, and one of the things we always talk about is that the tone comes from the top. We really need to get, they have to understand at the top, and we've said this before, sometimes we don't feel like you're not being mean, you're just ignorant. They just, well, it never occurred to us to include kids from District 75. One of the great things that came out of our meeting with the parent coordinators was that the head of the whole parent coordinators group said, when you have co-located schools, she said, we're hearing this from parents all over the place. She said, you make those extra 75 copies for the kids in those programs. When you're having an after-school activity, when you're having a pumpkin patch, when you're having a holiday party, you make those extra copies and make sure those kids from District 75 schools are included. She said, if it becomes an issue of paper, come to me. I will make sure you have paper to make the copies. So that was great. That we had I think 60 parent coordinators, so that for them to hear that message was great. Again, we've also been contacted by the woman Ann from New York Disability Rights, and they've talked about, this is a lot of the inclusion things that we're talking about, is a lot of the stuff that they're working on as well, so she wants to partner with us moving forward. She might be somebody that we use for, if we have a spring forum or something like that, she would be involved with that. Our next meeting is on April 17th at IBR.
Thank you very much. Family Resource Transition Care?
Nothing yet.
Great, we're looking forward to the fall. Family Support Services Advisory Council, Diane?
Yes, good morning. In lieu of a March meeting, we encouraged our parents to attend the breakfast, which they did. And in the past couple of months, we worked on a new brochure, which are in the back. They're green this year, which includes all supports and services. So hopefully this will help your family member, help your family, and if you're an agency, take some as well to give to your families. It also clarifies for self-direction families where the monies come from and how to work it out in your budget, what have you. Okay, we have flyers in the back for the next 3 meetings. Then we're closing up the year because we don't meet for the summer unless there's any business that we have to attend to. So in April, we're going to have a morning meeting. May, we will have an evening meeting. In June, we will close our year out with a breakfast at the Harvest Cafe, which is always lovely for our kids. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Residential quality of life, Linda?
All right, I'm with the Jason Hart, my co-chair. We had our last meeting 3 weeks ago. We talked about personal cash allowances that every resident in a group home has to spend every month, how the bookkeeping goes for that, how hard it is to scam the system. That was very interesting. And we'll have our next meeting 2 weeks from today, March 29th, in the conference room at 9:30 in the morning.
Thank you, Linda. Self-directed supports, Jason?
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Jason Riccadelli. I'm the co-chair of the Self-Direction Committee with Melissa Palermo. We had our last meeting February 27th. It was a job fair for people looking for staff that have self-direction and potential staff learning about self-direction. About 40 people attended the meeting with about 10 people looking for some work. We're going to be hosting another one March 28th at 5:30 at IBR's seminar room. We are hoping to have a better turnout. This is a night meeting, so if you know anyone looking for work or looking for workers, we have a flyer in the back.
Thank you, Jason. Willowbrook Property Planning Committee? Oh, Eric. Sure.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Eric. I'm the co-chair of the Willowbrook Committee with Diane, who unfortunately couldn't make it today. All we have to report today is that we are all finishing the signature this month for the mile, which is at the end of April. The lecture is at the end of April, and our next meeting will be April 4th to finish the mile and to finish the planning with the mile. And please, if you can, come to the Willowbrook lecture meeting at the end of April. It's very beneficial. You can hear people talk. I believe Mike Wilkerson this year will be talking, so please come. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Membership and guidelines? Scott?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Salinardi, and I co-chair the Membership and Guidelines Committee with Elizabeth Connelly. And I just wanted to piggyback on what Pam and Melissa are doing with the Outreach Committee. Our membership, portion of the Membership and Guidelines is very important to drive the membership up. Like Pam mentioned, we have about 150 members altogether. We'd like to double that number this year. It's our 50th year. You know, we want to really, really officially on paper and in support in person have that strong support. So if anyone here is not an official member, a voting member, a paid member, or just a non-paid member, if you want to stick around for a couple of minutes after this meeting, we can talk and we can point you in the right direction to signing up today. It takes about 2 minutes. We have a great website now, very easy. So we can get the process going, and we hope everyone becomes an official member. So that's our focus these days, is to drive that membership, and we're trying to work with all the providers and just the community at large to do that. So please see me afterwards. I'll be happy to help you.
Thank you, Scott. Health and Clinical Services, Jane?
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jane Cooper. I co-chair Health and Clinical Services Committee along with Lorraine DeSantis. I don't think she's here today. Okay. So we met on February 20th, and on that day we had hoped to have a presentation from the New York City Commission on Human Rights, which we postponed until March 20th because another topic happened to be brought to our attention during our meeting that we felt was worthy of discussion and follow-up, and that had to do with transitional services for young adults coming out of high school, particularly those young adults with the highest level of need and the lack of services available to them. So we may hear more from my committee about that as we go forward, because certainly not having services available to them will affect their overall well-being and health as they move forward. Also, just an update on our questionnaire. We did not get a big response from the parents about our provider questionnaire through SurveyMonkey. So I know some of the surveys were brought to the breakfast 2 weeks ago, and we hope to compile results and see what we can report on very shortly. Our next meeting will be held this coming Wednesday, March 20th at 9:30 a.m. and it's at Staten Island Mental Health, 657 Castleton, Building A. But Staten Island Mental Health is now a division of Richmond University Medical Center. So I hope to see some of you there overall.
Thank you, Jane. Any old business? Okay, new business. I'm asking I do have some new business to present, but I'm waiting to the end of the meeting. I need the executive committee, as many members of the executive committee that are here today to stay for a few minutes. And then if there is any other new business, we can talk about that as well. Now we have a presentation from the New York Boys for the Public Interest, which is a nonprofit.